Growing up in a small town, one of the things my family taught me right away was to honor, to respect, and fight for our family name. When it came to school, I had to be not just average, but above average because I was a Neuman. I represented my family. When I was playing, whatever I was doing, there was this unspoken pressure that, you know what, you can't just be normal and you can't just be okay. You have to fight to be above normal and better than, and give it your all every time because you represent our family. Now that I've got a family of my own, I want to pass on to my sons that same value. The value of taking a stand and fighting for something that's bigger than yourself. One time, I remember when my youngest son really got it. See, his older brother is 18 months older, a year and a half older, which right now, that means he's significantly, sizably bigger. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's smarter, one can talk, one can't. But I remember seeing Hayden and Grant right next door here in the playroom. I walked in and Grant was lying on the ground and Hayden was standing over him, holding him by the cuff of his shirt and hitting him over the head. And every time he did, Grant would go, "Stop it, brother." And then Hayden would go, "Bam." And then he'd go, "Go to the corner, brother." And Hayden would go, "Bam." And I just stopped and I looked for him and I didn't know what to do because the helpless little brother was beating up on the big brother. Usually the tables are turned, but something happened in Hayden that he snapped, he lost it, and he just wasn't gonna take it anymore. And I just stopped for a minute and watched and let it happen, and then I disciplined him and everything. But I was so proud of Hayden because he took his stand, even when the odds were against him. Every night when I come home, I like to teach these lessons to my boys. And one of the things that they love is Star Wars. And I gotta admit, I do too. I love it when Grant comes up to me and he goes, "Here's your lightsaber, Dad." And then he hands one to Mom and hands one to Brother. And we have an all-out galactic war right here in the living room. There's always a good side and there's always an evil side. And we clash and we fight and we put it all on the line. And he gets pretty serious too. He's really swinging that thing. He's whacked me in the head a couple times. And you know what? I love it. I love that good always wins and bad always loses. And for me, I found out that taking a stand, a lot of the time is taking a stand in my own life. A lot of the times it's taking a stand against my own laziness. Sometimes it's fighting the temptation and the evil that's in me or around me. And fighting for a bigger cause, it's not as easy as lightsabers, it's not as easy as just some sporting event. Maybe you've experienced that kind of fight before. So many people experience that as an athlete. Maybe it's on the basketball court and you've got some huge guard in front of you and you take the ball past them and make the layup and it just, oh yeah, it feels so good. Or you're playing football somewhere and you've got a whole line, but you've got the ball and you're supposed to drive right through them and you don't know if it'll happen, but you just put your head down, grab that ball, run as hard as you can and blast right through them. There's just such a rush, such a feeling of like, yeah, I did it. The fight. And I love that. I love that sense and I love that feeling and I like to live in that every day, fighting for a bigger cause. So this is a lesson I'm trying to live out. I'm trying to teach it to my boys. And I hope you catch it today too. That if you call yourself a follower of Jesus Christ, your actions, they don't just represent you yourself. They represent the God we serve, but they also represent every other Christian around you too. So wherever you go, whatever you do, I challenge you to take a stand.